Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Yes.
Morning, sir.
Yeah.
Good
So,
morning, sir.
yeah, how are you? Good morning. So, I think I have in the house. I have in the house some of you. No, I can't eat now. I can't try it. Right. So, I thank you all for the timing, and we will not wait so much for others, but I'm sure they will join us on it. Like I told you, we really have not got so much time. We've lost so much time, and the whole essence of what I tried doing here is being defeated because I really wanted these nominated people to really understand what we plan to do so that we do not stay away from the knowledge of what we plan to do. We tell anybody we are not a school, and we are not replicating or repeating what a school is doing in any part of the country. We are just an intervention. And I would sincerely want us to let it be as such. all Programmers Foundation is doing is purely an intervention, and is aware of it, so that it's important we prepare well. The whole essence of this, and that's why I'm not in any rush. We're not rushing to kickstart anything anywhere until we good knowledge of what we are to do and what we are doing, and we better understand it very well. Okay. So that being said, the former head of ours, Abdullahi Abubakar, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine, sir. I'm fine.
Right, and let me just give it to you because you've done the best we can. Even though it's not easy to engage people, conduct or manage people and all of that. At the beginning like this, we're always very careful to get to understand people very well, and we are with our ears to the ground to want to know what the difficulties are. Because this project, if we say a project is to happen virtually, there's a reason, and a very strong reason at that, the virtual project is meant to correct what we may have as what could have happened on premise, and giving us some challenges. And we're trying to, kind of crack that shackles of challenge because of what we are doing. So I'm particularly happy that at least we did some of what we needed to do. Going forward, the leadership will not be the same pattern anymore. The leadership will be based on participation and activity, which everybody here can see. Yeah, Madam Najatu, how are you? Good morning. Madam Najatu, good morning. Morning, madam. Is she there?
There. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes, I was
Morning, how are you?
And congratulations once again. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Can you share with us what that short experience was to you?
Yes, we learn testing. Software testing.
Great. So I'm sure
using two automated tools using Tosca and Selenium.
Excellent.
But unfortunately, we were unable to download Tosca.
Yeah, because we are from Nigeria. Don't worry.
Yes.
Nigeria has. You see, we need all these exposures. We need all these exposures for us to see that the world has gone, and it takes certain mediation. It will take certain mediation, like what we are doing, to put Nigeria where we need to belong. So they can imagine other countries able to download those things, and they will not allow Nigeria.
Yes, but in Nigeria we are unable to download.
These are part of the engagements. These are part of the engagements. And to be frank with you, it wasn't also this easy for the Indians. It wasn't this easy for the Indians. They also worked to scale the opportunities that they're also getting, but we'll not stop at getting the opportunities. Even at that, there are other optional things. We still have time for you, so that we can share more in that area and see how we can better consolidate. And the whole essence of why we did that is that we see women do a lot of things in technology. Our concern is that whatever women are doing in technology, they should also succeed doing it just like men. So that's the whole essence. We're just trying to bridge these gaps as much as we can, as it were. So all the best and congratulations once again. I've not had the opportunity. I've not had the opportunity of speaking with some of the other participants yet, but we'll be able to say more. Aji Abdulaziz, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine, sir. Good morning.
I know you're on the run. I follow you a lot.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
I follow you a lot, and I know you're on the run, so you are somebody to check, really.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
And it's a very good tempo. It's a good tempo. You see, sometimes when some of us started these things when we're young, we just do it, play. You are playing with it. Just make it be part of you. You don't make it look as if you're carrying a big load. No, if you carry it. You don't carry your shoulder. You're the only one. No, not you.
Of course.
Just building yourself, and you realize that you've been in the game, and you are playing it. So, gentlemen,
Okay.
let me just share a screen with you now, while any other persons will join us, because like I told you, the knowledge of what Programmers Foundation is planning is important. We understand it. It's not the same thing that you will see anywhere. I've been speaking with so many people in the state. So many people want to get involved. And to be frank with you, in years, over 10 years, I don't just want to do the wrong thing. And that is why if I had left my work in the hands of just anyhow people, most times you are doing a foundation. Some people don't even have a domain job. I'm a software person and I don't joke with my own jobs. If I can share with you what I've been through here, this is the life where I have to code all day, all night to survive, not because I'm doing charity and all of that, because how many charity can anybody even want to identify with you? You must be inside your code and be confident you are doing your job, and nobody gives you any sheets. You face your work and you're a confident person doing what you need to do. And that's the whole essence of, as an innovator and an entrepreneur, you must be confident first. With the passion you have about your very first call to duty, which is programming. If you're a programmer in that case, but otherwise, if you're just a content developer, then go ahead with whatever it is that you're doing that facilitates the programming or development after a problem that you're trying to solve. And that is very important. So nobody really will be there because you just want to join a bandwagon for the fun of it. It's important. If you're a programmer, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an innovator, you stand out. So my core business of what I'm talking to people is how they can add innovation skills to the literacy that I believe they should already have. You are being in school as an undergraduate, you are building more literacy around your course of study. And like I will always tell anybody, every course of study is relevant in a nation building. There's no failed course, there's no bad course. Every content is important. Because this same course you have to stay in the university for 4 years, sometimes 5 years. And some of us will just stay in the class, going to school every day, copying notes every day, photocopying notes where we cannot write them, and begin to prepare just for an exam rather than preparing for your life. And you now realize that by the time you have getting to the point where you have to now download what you have crammed for an exam, yourself and exam would part ways. Exam on one hand, yourself on one hand, exam will go, you are heading out looking for a job when you yourself should have created the job. It's a very wrong mindset, very, very wrong mindset. And anybody who does not rediscover itself when he's still in the university or any tertiary institution has no plan for life. That is the only gift I give to anybody. So I will get back to my project and share that project with you.
Okay.
So that is a story that every one of you should be able to tell. And that is the essence of why I need you to understand, like for instance, this project is awaiting being communicated to other states. But to be frank with you, I'm being careful. I don't just want to communicate through wrong people. I need to communicate through the right people who can grant us audience for us to talk to the executives of the states. And this is what that documentation carries. It simply states all the things that the project has to do. And any executive governor of any state will not want to part ways with the project content because what we are doing is their job. So they will obviously want to identify with us alongside the way we are going. And that is why if we are to run this in Zamfara State, run this in other states, I need people on ground that will help us, that to at least have a base understanding to start with and be able to make sure that we conduct the thing and we do not fail. So, except if from day one, you do not believe that it can work. And me, my work has been based on research. We've done this over and over before we consolidating data, and we are going the direction that we are going now in this new decade of 2020, 2021 to 2030, which is what we call the Innovation-Bed Digital Citizens, Innovation Capacity Development Incubation 2030. You know, it's an incubation. So, permit me share my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So like this is a typical state, and the state we shared with you that we were just talking to. We just started actually. Like we told you, I've not been reaching out at all. The opportunity that Zamfara and Nasarawa State got was that in the course of our work, they approached us. That is why we are having an early landing in these two states. But we will have to, from now, begin to talk to other 36 states. And sincerely, what I'm trying to build, I'm trying to build a network of people whom I can hand over this project to for it to flow and not in wrong hands. Because it's only when you have good knowledge of it that we can play this project across the length and breadth of the country. It's a national project, it's not only for one state. Now, as you can see, first is, let me just identify hello, let me check that oh, sorry, can you still see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, I'm just having Nasarawa Tasu join us now. Now, let me just share that this is the entire content that will summarize the entire thing about this project. And that is why I want this to be in the hands of the state coordinators who should properly understand what the whole project is all about. So there's actually no confusion anywhere. Now, first is that the project is called Innovationbed Digital Citizens. It's actually tech talent and youth innovation capacity development incubation. Now, just to explain some of the logos and companies or initiatives that you find here so that we don't mix them up or have any confusion. Now, programmer software is actually the CSR, what we mean by corporate social responsibility division of Programmer Software Limited. Programmer Software Limited is my maiden software company, and our main niche is software development, design, and technical support. We do not resell a software. We wrote our software 100% from the scratch, and we have been implementing and supporting this software, evolving new versions and all of that in the last 20 years plus. So Programmer Software is a digital and is a software development company from the base. Now, we use the Programmer Software, the Programmers Foundation, as the NGO of the charity projects that have been running in the country for more than 10 years. But the main company is more than 25 years now. Okay, so in explaining that Programmers Foundation is the NGO owned by Programmer Software Limited. So, but in this that we are doing, we do this under the NGO. Now, the next logo you are seeing here, which is the WSA-NIGERIA, is the World Summit Awards logo that you find there. And the World Summit Award is a UN initiative that is actually operated in over 180 countries. The business is to seek for innovative projects, innovative ideas, promote them, and put them on the global stage for rating. So you get to see much later on some of the contents of what some of us Nigerians here have done over the years. And it is now my 10th year of being on this service of the UN World Summit Award as the national expert for Nigeria. Now, in the course of my work in the last 10 years, Nigeria has actually realized or identified with so many projects from Nigeria that have done so well on this global platform. And by following this trend to sustain it in this new decade, we now believe sourcing of innovation should be a national strategy. And now, because it's a national strategy, we can now begin to situate our processes, my activities, not just where I am located here in Lagos, taking the power of the internet to ensure that every state government can endorse the UN World Summit Awards Nigeria at their local states as the hub managed by the states. And the hub managed by the states, we have to identify capable youths in that state that should be able to oversee our processes and work directly with the national experts when we are conducting subsequent year national calls and regional calls. So the WSA Nigeria is a volunteer. Nobody pays me for this job. It's a volunteerism that I've been doing, that in the last 10 years, we have identified so many producers of innovative products that have been recognized as best in the world the last 10 years. So in the essence of what we're doing now in the new decade is that we are using all these resources to see how we can impact a newer generation of Nigerians. So it's a very simple project. I don't want anyone to make it look more complicated than what it is, and perhaps for us not to be able to gain the benefits that we need to gain, because we can always rebuild a new generation of younger people whom we can share with what others have done, whether from Nigeria or from any part of the world, from the data bank of resources that we have had and we've seen, and of course, are part of the contents of our education here. Now, the project called Innovationbed Africa is an initiative that Programmers Foundation has coined. In the course of our UN interventions and of course initiative interplays over the years, we have consolidated our research into what we call Innovation Bed. And why the name Innovation Bed? Innovation Bed simply is saying that we all have to go back to our beds. That's the bed we sleep on, you lie on. We all have to go dress those beds up. We have to go dress it up and by ourselves. Because the demands of our national development today requires more innovation, and we have to re-innovate. And that means that if we have passed it, we have to go backwards and see what we can do to correct this situation, and of course, to take us to where we plan to be. So Innovationbed Africa is an initiative pilots have been running in Nigeria, and is something to scale to as many other African countries as possible. That's already ongoing. Now, the other logo you find here is the ICT for Seeds. ICT for Seeds is actually another UN agency that have also belonged to the working group since 2010, almost 10 years, another 10 years again, where ICT for Seeds are a set of strategy that is specially designed for developing countries anywhere in the world. Developed countries all around the world, for which, if we can follow and imbibe those things, these things were stated 10 years ago, and you can imagine how old today we are still talking about Industry 4.0. You know, we are still talking about Industry 4.0, where what we simply mean is smartness, being able to shift our way of doing things from the brick and mortar standard to digitized and transformed standards, which is where the Industry 4.0 is, which would have now incorporated all things like the agile governance and all of that. And we're trying to put all these things together in programs that we can actually share with youths within the period of about 6 months. It does not matter what your profession is. It does not matter what you read in school. Like I told you, every course of study and the content from there is relevant in nation building. So we also have the global, Auto Global. Auto Global is an entity, an organization, an enterprise that is registered in Singapore. And we have walked a very long way now in developing the portal that all identified entrepreneurs, all identified potentials that we have trained in our incubation will be registered on what we call the Opportunities Gateway. The Opportunities Gateway is that channel where you can actually express your strengths, what you have, your haves. You can actually express your needs, what your wants are. Oh, I have this, I want this. And you are in a collaborated hub environment where people see what you need and of course also see what you have. And that level of discussion can start on the Opportunities Gateway as freely as you can get. And this will become a major gateway across Africa and the world very soon. So the consultant working with us there is called Dr. Daniela Priwi from Singapore, and she's very much on ground for this project. So much later is the idea of my ambassadorial entitlement by the Institute of Information Management as the CDO ambassador for Nigeria. What does that tell me? The main and the most important thing is to remind me that data in itself, that data must be seen as an artificial intelligence asset. Now, when we talk about artificial intelligence, which is an aspect of innovation, innovating processes, techniques, the data therein is an asset that aids innovation. So the way I look at data today has to be in compliance with me trying to do the best I can do with identifying data and measuring data and giving data all the benefits of its protection for the purpose for which it is subjected to and how it is to be used. So data is critical. So all these things form the main set of initiative, partnership, initiative, collaborations of the Innovationbed Incubation-2030. Now, in this document, if we are set, even though this is a test case that was addressed to Edo states, I'm telling you now that Edo State is just like Nasarawa State. Nasarawa State is just like Zamfara State. It's just like Kano State. It's just like Bauchi, Benue. So it will take one of us to share the information, but not share the information wrongly. It's something that we're not begging that we must do it. It's not at all costs, not by force, because it mustn't be perceived wrongly. If this project is perceived wrongly, then they will actually attend to it wrongly. And that is why the concern that it must be perceived and handled are right. Otherwise, the people that these projects are meant for may not benefit from the project, which is bad. So there's a table of content on that presentation. And we shared first some of our earlier works. Like, look at the left-hand side of this project, this screen. You see, these are some people, right? Can we see this image?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir, we can see.
Now, this was in 2007, not even within the last decade, before the last decade. That was before the last decade. Now, what we did here was to pick, these are graduates. These graduates were jobless. And because I'm a software company and I have used my software to build clients on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, as you can see towards the end here, you have the map of brokers on the floor of the exchange at that time trading. Each of these brokers are from different stockbroking organizations. And we saw manpower problem. I'm trying to tell you the story of unemployment. We saw manpower problem, people not doing the right thing in these organizations. And we feel we can, with what we know, we can pick these graduates, teach them what they should know. I don't care what you have read in school. Like in here, you have somebody there who read accounting. You have somebody here who perhaps read marketing. You have somebody here who read engineering. This person, I think engineering to this accounting, and so on and so forth. We have English, we have computer science graduates. But the issue is that they are jobless. But then, because we know that there is a possible thing we can teach them, and we send them to a particular place, by the time we send you to those places, you must go there and speak. Don't just go there and say you are coming from programmers. You must go there, speak to the problem of that organization, share with them the problem, share with them the solution, and you have successfully earned yourself a job. You did not write vacancy on their door, but they will see who you are made of and the kind of change agents that you are. And we had hundreds of these beneficiaries graduated by 2007 at the Muson Center here in Lagos at one of our anniversaries. And believe you me, none of them came back to me. We did a ballot, just like we did our leadership, how you pick ballots for head of house and deputy head of house. We did a ballot, and in each paper, name of a company will be in that paper, because we have many of those companies that have a similar problem. And now that we have people that we have trained, we pick the paper, they each pick the name of the company. Now, the name of the paper you pick, we open it, the name of the company, you go to the admin department will give you a letter. That forwarding letter you will take to the company. Once the letter is read by the MD of that company, the MD of the company will give you an opportunity to speak to the company. And because you go there to perform, having been through what we have shown you, you will win yourself a job. And that's exactly what happened. Amongst them here today, we have some of them who are still in the industry almost after 10 years. We have some of them who probably they have advanced their profession into some other things. And some of them are CEOs of a typical stock market operation in Nigeria. Yes, but then they were just taken from nowhere that way. And they are happy to be. Now, we said that our parent company Programmer Software has trained and graduated hundreds of jobless graduates from diverse fields in our research incubation years back, and supplied them to fill the gaping manpower gaps identified in the Nigerian capital market, for which His Excellency, like in this case, the Excellency, the Governor of Edo State, in this case, is a stockbroker. So he will understand what I'm talking about. Now, what is it that is the problem that Innovationbed is to solve? What is the problem? Why? Why are we bothered? Why are we interested? Now, if you look at this, Nigeria economy desire innovation capacity development to benefit from digital transformation. This is no doubt. Now, 2, citizens' social living standard desire and upliftment. The rural-urban smart settlement and urbanization to bring succor to rural living. We have to do something about it. Now, lack of innovation development capacity among youths, creating a social menace to leadership, plaguing economic development and its sustainability. Then we'll also see that mindset shift from foreign capacity digitization activities to homegrown capacity digitization will sustain economic development. This is the reason why in leadership or our governments, they will choose to travel outside and buy foreign products when there are local options. But guess what? We have not given them the comfort, the confidence that we can do better or even do or achieve what they want. that our foundation is to influence local quality that earns dependable capacity by decision makers in leadership. Now, lastly here, to correct the mindset of students, reading, photocopying notes, and attending classes for sake of examination alone, to now imbibe a habit of being innovative about own course content so they can become productive authorities with course of study after school rather than seeking for jobs that are nowhere unless created. If nobody creates your job, how do you get on the job? Every course of study is viable in nation building with due innovation skills. And that's simple, it's just as simple as this. Now, and this is just as simple as this, you know? So as a result of all this, we have put up an incubation to drill people, as it were. I'm not the only faculty. We've got templates of several people from within and outside to help on this journey. If we're not costing based on what it should even be, as we are going to see very soon. Now, what are the interventions of Innovationbed? Why are we doing this? And what is even giving us the confidence? What makes us think we can achieve it? Now, first is that we are strong on the foundational research that we have, what is called Fix a Gap and Reskilling Research, which is the main thing promoting this incubation for 2030 mandate, for which was the reason we actually did our presentation with the OCAM, which is the Observatory of Communication and Digital Communications in the globe. That's OCAM of the United Nations. And we're happy that upon the invitation of the Honorable Minister, Professor Issa Pantami, he actually gladly opened the event at the UN before our presentation. And we're glad that this came from Nigerian Minister of Communication and Digital Economy. Now, the second intervention, which we are strongly on, being the World Summit Awards, that gives us the endless network of where we can pull our innovation from the country and put onto for proper rating. Then followed by the ICT for Seeds, which is actually the project cast and developed for developing countries to utilize. All the ministries in your states can do better with you now knowing what to do and offering them e-consultancy services. And we now later say there are no jobs. The jobs are begging. Nobody's there to pick on the jobs and face the places and go and do the jobs that we're talking about. We are familiar with the old fashion of looking for a job, which doesn't help anybody. Then something called grassroots digital policy, as well as data management and governance analytics, for which is the area I said data now becomes very important, because it's best you do your work based on following the trends of data, what data says, because it gives you process efficiency, it gives you also efficiency. I mean, it makes you improve your efficiency management because you are informed by what data says. Now, as United Nations World Summit Awards National Expert for Nigeria, we spent our first 10 years building globally rated innovation heroes for Nigeria. You can see you see the records. With these heroes, we are harvesting them to go into an incubation of the next generation. And that is why we are here. This is why we are doing all these talks. So nobody's playing here. The people we are harvesting does not owe us anything. If the Innovationbed does not bring the idea, there's no way they can even have the platform to come back and say they want to recruit a new generation for the country. Perhaps nobody helped them when they were doing their own. But that is not the way to go. And that is the main essence of the, social environment that we think we can actually be and be there for all of us. Now, here are the records of all the winners. For some of us who may not have had the opportunity, that if you go to the website of the World Summit now, all these facts are there. In 2011, these were the products that won. So in 2012, we had online webinars for African women and girls, globally educated, iPolice, mobile, budgets. I'm sure some of you will be familiar with budgets. Who knows budget? I've asked this question before. Budget is a popular startup then. That budget is the one that analyzes the expenditure of governments. They analyze the expenditure of government and so many things about government, and they've been very factual with what they've done. I'm letting you know that they were discovered on the World Summit in 2012. And they were discovered in the youth category, because the World Summit Award has senior category and junior category. Budget was won under the junior category. So I can imagine, till today, they are still making very strong waves. And they are the only people we depend on. The spectacle to see what government is using their money to do. 2013, you have Opoimo, an educational product from Osun State, where the sitting governor, joined us in Sri Lanka to pick his award. Transparent Nigeria. That's why when I have young people in the house and I know that they are doing one thing or the other, like what our dear Abdulaziz has been championing here. I mean, these are things we've seen over the years, and someday you have your breakthrough, so you never just regret. And guess what? You just need all the support, and that's why we are on this campaign from time to time. Now, Opoimo is the educational product from Osun State, a government product, and they won in that year, 2013. Transparent Nigeria was just a young people like you. In fact, he won while he was still in school in Harvard. Transparent Nigeria is a product owned by one Uchechi Iweala, that is the son of the current Director General of the World Trade Organization, Dr. Okonjo Iweala. That's the son. So he actually joined myself and the team that accompanied the governor of Osun State, the now Minister, Engineer Ralph Arabeshola, in Sri Lanka to pick his award, alongside Jeff Okorafor, that also won on one product called Opinion Nigeria from media. So these are products. When the world celebrates you, why should your country not celebrate you? Why should you not make the impact you desire to make in your local environment? And why should it be that it is your local environment that is caging you? We need to get out of this and try to even disrupt your discomforts. That is why you are into innovation. In 2014, a young guy from Edo State, either Delta or Edo State, Omomi, if you know about the Omomi app, was very famous and was widely celebrated in Abu Dhabi in 2014. In 2015, we didn't have any winnings, but as good sportsmen, you also have to work harder for subsequent years. So in 2016, we had a product called Fill Your Tank. In fact, we had 3 products that year: Fill Your Tank, Africa on the Rise, and then Chowberry. Chowberry, just like what somebody is doing here. I think Abdulaziz, your product is talking about a reduction in food waste. Is that right? Am I correct?
Yes, sir, of course.
Are you working on reduction of food waste?
That is not the major mission. The mission is accessibility to fruits and vegetables. That is accessibility to quality foods.
But please, I would like you to join Chowberry for further work and research. I don't know. Are you in the Innovationbed social group now?
Yes, I am.
If you are there, there is somebody there that started Chowberry. In fact, most of these guys are in that group. They'll just be quiet.
Okay. Of course.
Some of them are not noise makers, but I'm just telling you that I can link you up with Chowberry in case you have any question.
Okay, sir.
Please just remind me.
I'll remind you.
Just remind, because that's the whole essence of this network.
Of course, networking to leverage the technology and get
That
access
is all. And
course.
you'll be surprised if you follow Chaberi and see what the guy has done over the years. Even after winning, till today, he's still very strong.
Okay.
Now,
I remind you.
Now, in 2017, we had a product called You Truck It. You Truck It. Now, You Truck It won under Smart Settlements and Urbanization. Now, guess what? Do you know why some companies leave Nigeria? So many old companies that operated in Nigeria no longer find it comfortable to operate in Nigeria anymore. Why are we there just watching? And we think government is going to do this all alone for us? Governments, they've done their bit. You are the innovators to bring about the ideas that your governments, no, to be frank with you, if you have one solid idea today, give your government a price, you will get the value. The issue is that it must work. Yes. Now, what You Truck It does is that these guys save organizations that were operating in Nigeria who had to truck their goods from one location to another location. Take, for instance, Nestle Foods. Do you know Nestle Foods now? Nestle. Yeah, they used to be food specialties, but they are now Nestle. Who has not had the name Nestle before?
It's popular actually.
Now, and recently, I know you are doing something with flour mills. The same thing. Now, all these people, they have goods that they have to truck from one point to another, and they use manpower, drivers, trucks, and guess what? They encounter so much risk in this country. We have seen instances when it is reported that a driver and a truck will suddenly vanish in transit. How can you place that? Do you know what that means? A road driver, a truck, and all the items on board suddenly vanish. In a business organization, if that happens one time, second time, third time, is the company not done that? They've gone. So if you do not have the right innovation, such businesses cannot thrive. You Truck It had such intervention products that won them this award in 2007. And the producer, Tom Roberts, is also in that group. For whoever is in charge, is doing something in this line, is in that group, is in that social group. And they were highly celebrated in the city of Vienna in Austria in 2018. Because I know when the result for the year comes out, the Winners' Congress always will happen the year after. Just like our award of last year and all the things we submitted from Nigeria last year, the winners will be celebrated this year in 2022 when the result is out. We are still expecting, because the grand jurors just started their work. So any moment between now and end of month, we should get a result of last year. But the result of a particular year's World Summit is celebrated 1 year after. So You Truck It from Nigeria was one of the winners in 2017, and they were hugely celebrated in the city of Vienna. But because you now have pandemic and association of people and gathering has reduced. Last year, the World Summit Winners Congress was virtual. This year, it will also be virtual. We just hope that the impact and trend of this COVID would be down. But every other year, the UN World Summit Awards always have opportunities for our young lads to see what the rest of the worlds are doing. And it's a major outlet of seeing the world as an innovator in terms of being a platform to be. So imagine your governor or your government hosting that hub locally. Means there's a bigger chance for as many youths across the country, and not just people who are closer to me in Lagos where I am, will benefit from it. And that is why we are opening up for these engagements, endorsements to go all over the 36 states, so we can expand what we are doing here. Now, you also have in 2018 World Summit Award Edition, 2 products. One, we have two winners. One called the Carrot NG and the other one called the Max Okada. Carrot NG was a senior category winning and the Max Okada was a junior category winning. Let me not forget to mention that the Youth Rocket of 2017 was a senior category winning for Nigeria. So all it simply means is that for you to have a senior category winning, your country must have had at least 1 or 2 products among the 40 best. Can you imagine when after the whole year, they've gotten over 400 innovations from almost 180 countries. And of all the 400 and something, what they need is just 40 best products across the world, and your country wins. So it's huge. It's huge. It's actually huge. And today, it's becoming much more difficult because you don't just innovate, you don't just put up a website. There must be innovation. What do we mean by innovation? What can you project? What are you adopting blockchain technology sufficiently? Are you adopting artificial intelligence sufficiently? Is there anything machine learning is doing in your project now? There is no just putting up a web page anymore. That's not innovation. Leave that for website designers. Which is not just, that's not innovation. And we are not bothered about that. We are bothered about content of innovation that should be powered by technology. You know? So in 2018, Max Okada, Carrot.ng, and of course, I was also with Carrot.ng. They were celebrated, you know, very, very well in Cascais, a city in Portugal. Beautiful city. Lukman Balogun, the producer of Carrot.ng, is also in that group. He won under the business and commerce category. Now, in 2019, we have a product called Check It App. Check It App producer or co-producers, they are also in that Innovationbed social group. Last year, they were the company that was said to have gotten about $500 million seed funds from some VCs. For me, we don't start with you with money. You should do your job up to the point where you can see as much money as you want, because that remains permanently with you. If you start with money, people will be afraid of you, because what are you using to get the money? It must be something reliable, must be something bankable. You must be able to go to bank and get something from it. So that is why your knowledge of innovation is very important. So Check It Out was the winner we had in 2019. And I can remember Check It Out won that year in 2019, and they were the best, and they represented Africa. Yeah, I can remember. They represented Africa. Now, the first, you know, because their celebration was happening in 2020, it was the COVID that distorted the Winners Congress. And that is how the impact of COVID has affected the World Summit process. Because I know the people that were supposed to join the delegation to be in Vienna for the Winners Congress were disrupted because of COVID, and of course, so much of the immigration distortions. So that did not hold, and that's why subsequently the Winners Congress has been online. And in 2020, we had 2 projects, a product called Juni in the financial sector, as well as Natal Cares, junior category in the health sector. Natal Cares is also in that, is in that group. So just to let you know that this background was not cast in stone. It's not just given to Nigeria. It's a competition. I need to innovate to be in competition, and we cannot do less in these new 10 years, 2010, 2020, 2021, 2022 to 2030. We can't go folding our arms and thinking one government program will cover us in Nigeria. It has never covered us in the last 10 years. If at a point you'll be thinking you don't have a government, So that's why we need to see how we can actually grow the community with the people and give them the best we can to also help those of us who have those potentials to put up, good attitudes, very important, and products that can help our environment. And for us, when we now have a constellation of people like this, when we have a constellation of people like this in an ecosystem, we feel glad because we can even do better, we can do more. For you to be in this galaxy, this is the Chowberry guy I mentioned.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Chowberry guy in question. So, and this is, yeah, here you have Uchechi Weala receiving his award in Sri Lanka. Now, you have the, this is the Cara Dotenji, defending his award in Portugal. Now, this is the current Minister of Interior, Ralph Arabeshola, receiving his award in Sri Lanka. So I may not even cover everybody. Everybody can come onto this page. There are still very many of the heroes that we have built. So in the course of our work, these people will be talking to you at different times. Because we just did something last year when we did innovation workshop for all universities across Nigeria. These guys were on my faculty, and I play them. I give them jerseys, they play. Yes. And we're not saying we're not an incubation for the word of it. We're not just speaking English. No, it's an incubation in reality. Now, here you meet the lady who is that's Dr. Ugo Ego in Bayelsa State. She owns the venture called Ice Fair 360 under medicine. She's the medical doctor. And quite so many other people, quite so many. Oh, this is iPolice Mobile being celebrated in Abu Dhabi. Very, very early awards. So, and you take this project up to the point when the people that matter should help us scale it. And please should scale it without bringing political monies that will mess up our projects. They should run their show, and you guys will run your internal distance. That's the wisdom. And no government will not enjoy that they are getting good results. But it shouldn't be about money, 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 money. Oh, sorry. This is Farms to Z. This is Farms to Z. Doing very well in the UK. And he's on the team. He's in the team of in the team of Omomi, the production of Omomi. That this is the youth rocket guy that was celebrated in Vienna. Oh, this is another superstar. This is into energy right now, but he was doing so well under education many years back. And all these guys were discovered while they were in school. This actually, the Max Okada guys with the executive governor of Lagos State, these bike guys and all of that. But then they had an issue with the state because of logistics and what have you. But I'm sure they've actually innovated better ways to do, and some of them are even operating in some other states. So there's so many young guys in here. They've done one thing or the okay. Fine. Look at NOSAC and NOSAC Technologies. NOSAC Technologies here got almost $500 million too last year from the African Development Bank. So it is your project that takes you to where you meet your monies and prosperity forever, not by begging. If you were to beg, they'll just look at you as a black man. In fact, the worst of it, they'll say, bloody Nigerian. So you do your work with dignity and you're respected as such. And here, some of the people that benefited in the project, we got scholarships for 10 people last 2 years, that span into last year in the pandemic. So we had Akwa Ibom, Minister of Science and Technology, Akwa Ibom nominated the Bedi Abasi John, and then the Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation, Gombe, nominated Iklimatu Abubakar. Also, we had nomination from Katsina State, Abubakar Yusuf. David Yako was nominated by the Minister of Science and Technology in Benue. And we have Hawa Sonny Bello nominated by the Secretary to the State Government in Kano. And I think, yes, we had Olubenga Shitu nomination from Ogun State. More is okay. We have the Director General Bureau of ICT in Bauchi, nominated Aliu Ayuba. We had Ishaku Mafindi, nominated by Taraba State Ministry of Science and Technology. We had Adoge, nominated by Edo State Information Communication and Technology. This is the one that just within last week has spoken to his governor, and his governor has no choice now. He's the one that spoke to their governor, because as soon as he finished the program, he was immediately promoted in that department. So he's the only delayed person that's speaking to the governor right now. And this documentation that I'm sharing with you is a documentation that went to the executive governor of Edo State. And we have Mohammed Abubakar. He is based in the FCT in the Ministry of Justice. And that's my son here. He's running up in a university in Cyprus this year.